Alright, guys. Alright, guys. Welcome to episode 14, Close Encounters of the Funny Kind. You okay with there?
I just feel like it's just not meant to be. I have an episode 14 at this point.
Oh, we're excited.
Let's just go ahead and do this. Let's just knock this out. Let's just...
You don't want to do the beer tasting first?
I want to... let's just do this.
Okay. Straight to it. We're just...
Yeah. Let's just... I had one warming up, but someone drank it. So now I gotta drink a cold one.
I just thought it was mine. I don't know. Sorry, I let the whole team down.
It's fine. Sometimes it happens. There's always a party pooper.
Do you know how to do that?
Nope. Sure don't.
Can you hold mine? You're not going to have mine.
Because yours is all nice and warm?
Well, it's not warm, but key to shotgunning, guys, is you don't want one of the real frosty cold ones. You want to get it a little bit, set it out a couple minutes before. Doesn't burn the throat. That's what she said. I'm trying to open you up here.
She doesn't say that. Because she doesn't do that.
Okay.
This is a family show.
You're a family show. All right, you ready? I'm going to cut my lip on this jagged piece of metal here. All right, you ready?
Uh-huh.
There you go. I think I won that one. I had much better burp quality on you.
Great. Now my hair is all wet. It's in my hair. It's running down my chest.
Hey, those are fun things. All right, gang. Land Shark Lager. This is, it used to be made in... It used to be made in Jacksonville.
Is it not made at Budweiser anymore?
It doesn't say.
Great.
It used to say made in Jacksonville, Florida, but I haven't had this.
Is this still a Budweiser product? Because it's going to give me the shits later.
That's only the light beers, but there it is. I haven't had this one in a while.
I'm not only.
It's like it's like a Corona.
I need a napkin.
A napkin? Well, don't use the curtains. Here, do you want to use my shirt? You gonna?
No, it's alright. It's alright.
Do like that. Just a little late to the party with the burps, I guess.
Whew. I tasted that one.
Great. All right, then. So, Land Shark Lager, Island Style Lager.
We've had it before. We're running out of beer.
Well, it's been a while. I don't specifically remember. It doesn't taste like Corona, but I don't remember.
Publix, step up your craft beer section, please. You used to have an entire end of the aisle where you can make a 6-pack with all the beers. Yeah. Please bring that back, because that helps me, because it's a one trip for me when I go grocery shopping, and then I can just pick out everything while I'm there, instead of making 2 stops or just getting crappy Land Shark beer.
I'll say that it's not... It tastes like Corona, but it doesn't have that same bitter, like that bite to it that Corona does. So it's kind of a good alternative. It's not like the light Coronas, you know that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I haven't had one of those in forever. Bears under the table.
Hi, Bear.
Hi. Probably in between, but that's good. We haven't had these in a while. I'm gonna have to get some of these. It's just like the typical, like they're more expensive than just regular.
They put these on BOGO though during the summer. Oh, you know what? We have a storm coming. We have a tropical storm on its way. So Wednesday, these will be BOGO.
Okay. That always
every
for
time there's a
parties
hurricane,
in Florida.
Land Shark goes on BOGO.
Yeah,
no joke. It's a true thing.
Yeah,
Look it up.
I thought of the question.
Oh.
All right. So this one's a little bit different, but if you could know the truth, we're already out to a good pace here on the burps.
I didn't mean to. I even took a nap, and I drank a bunch of water today. I was trying not to have to burp.
I don't know what a nap would have to do with burping. I think shotgunning beers is probably the more...
Definitely the downfall.
All right, but if you could know the truth to one thing, so I'm going to give you some examples. All right? Aliens. All right? How the pyramids were built. JFK assassination, the afterlife, Bigfoot, Loch Ness monster. If you could know the total truth of something, what would you pick?
Bigfoot fishing for the Loch Ness monster with an alien invasion.
It's one thing.
Oh, shit fire.
I'll give you mine. I think knowing the afterlife would be the obvious answer. But then if there's not an afterlife, that's a bummer. Do you want to know that right now? Just, you're dead, nothing happens. So I'm leaning more towards either aliens, but I'm really big on it. I would love to know the truth. But that's one of those things, if you get there, it was Oswald, he was in the building, I'd be like, no. But 100%. So I think I would probably go the existence of aliens and where they came from or something like that. I would like to know.
That's whatever. Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, really?
Yeah. Bigfoot.
But if you found out about the JFK assassination and I found out about aliens, that would be two good ones.
I feel like that just plays in your favor.
It does. That's why I like it.
You get a twofer where I just get.
All right, fine. Bigfoot it is.
But
do you think Bigfoot's real? We talk about this?
Fuck yeah, he's real.
All right.
Bigfoot's real.
All right.
I'm sorry, he is.
Okay.
Sasquatch, it's real. It's a real thing. Someone went camping. They got lost in the wilderness. They found a cave and started living in it. And they don't know how to have what do you call it?
20,000 years ago, or?
No, 20 years ago.
No, it's not like a person. Bigfoot's supposed to be so
Bigfoot 20,000 years ago has had a family, and no one knows how to cohabit or whatever you call it.
Cohabitate?
Cohabitate? Is that the word? I don't freaking know. But it's Saturday. I don't use big words on Saturday.
Okay.
But
podcast time.
So hold on. Completely, this is a whole Sam thing where we just quickly change gears. The whole afterlife thing.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest issue for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I had surgery on Tuesday. I had to go in and have biopsies for possible cancer, but I didn't have it. We got the call yesterday. It's completely negative. So I had a regular biopsy in the office. Oh. And because of previous surgeries, I don't do well with stuff like this because I was wide awake when one of my implants was literally ripped out of my chest, wide awake on the table. So PTSD shit going on here because you're just strapped down and they're it literally sounds like a suction cup coming off a very clean window when
she's
they
been
pulled
in the trenches.
I still have nightmares about it. It's like Dexter. Oh my god, that's why I can't watch Dexter.
Dexter doesn't operate on people.
But he cuts people up. That's what it felt like.
Well, I guess.
Anyways.
We should watch Dexter.
We should. They're coming up with 2 new episodes. We're totally screwing up the episode. Anyways. So I turned 40 in April, went for a mammogram in May. They didn't like it, which is common because it's the first one, so they have to have a baseline.
We don't like this. Well, we got to get you in here for some more stuff.
So got called back for a mammogram and an ultrasound. Then they came in after the ultrasound and immediately ordered a biopsy. So the week after that, we went in for a biopsy. But because I freaked out during the ultrasound because I was flat out on the table kind of thing during that ultrasound, I called them 2 or 3 days before we went in for the biopsy, and I said, can my husband go in with me? And they're like, no. I said, can I take my headphones and my phone in? And they're like, yes. So shout out Tom Segura. I know Christina's going through it. She calls it tit cancer. She literally will not acknowledge that it is breast cancer, and I love you, girl, for that, because I have a few friends that are fighting it. So
we call it tit cancer, not breast cancer.
We're not calling it breast cancer. It's tit cancer. And I'm wearing pink tonight. I didn't mean to wear pink, Christina. I'm so sorry. But if you listen to her podcast, it's Your Mom's House.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, Spotify, but
yeah.
like your mom's house, it's Tom Segura and his wife. It's hilarious.
But during my biopsy, they gave me a Xanax.
Yeah, it's basically it's Xanax. It's supposed to relax you.
And I remember telling Cody, it was like this little pill. I was like, this ain't gonna do shit to me. Took it before we left the house. Got down.
It did something to her.
And
She was like, I feel great.
I took my phone back with me, and I'm sitting in there, like in the little, like where you're all sitting in your little robes and no bras on, and I'm the youngest person in this whole thing, and I'm like, I texted him and was like, I'm fizzing.
Fizzing. So
I'm cigarettes, Mom. I'm fizzing.
On a side note, when I had my vasectomy done, which
didn't work.
No, it didn't. That's why we have numero dos back there running around.
Being very quiet right now.
On a side note, they have a pretty high fail rate that they don't disclose to you. So that's also terrifying when I didn't really know that. So we have 2 children now. But he's cool. We like him. We're going to keep him and everything.
We're going to keep him. We're not going to drop him off.
We're not taking him to the Humane Society or anything like that. He's cool. So, but if he was a jerk, or a girl, we'd have to get rid of him. It's Chinese culture, or something.
You would have lost your mind had that.
That would have been a night. I'm just glad it wasn't twin girls. That would have been like, what have I done, God, to deserve that?
We were actually terrified when I found out I was pregnant for one, that it was going to actually be twins this time.
Yeah. It's like, that'd be our luck. But
Murphy's Law, and his middle name is Murphy, because what can happen will happen.
Yep.
And at the time, our son, our oldest, was very involved with dinosaurs in Jurassic World. And what does he say? Life finds a way.
Yeah, that was the joke.
That was the joke.
I was like,
literally the joke.
Right into my wallet, life found a way. That's what happened.
And he even told us that when we told him we were pregnant, our oldest literally came out and said, life finds a way.
Yeah.
And that was it for us. But anyways, so you had your vasectomy and you took how many of those?
So I took one, and in typical, I don't know if that's just me or men in general, 7 minutes later, I was like, yeah, it's not working. I'm going to take the other one.
7 minutes later.
So when we got to the facility, I was feeling pretty good because I had 2 and I was back there making jokes on the table.
I'm pretty sure he didn't have it done because he wouldn't let me go back with him.
I don't think you're supposed to be back there.
No, I can hold your hand.
I wasn't as nervous. I'll say that after 2. Whatever it
Just
was.
spread eagle.
Yeah.
Do it, Doc.
The lady came in with like the single blade Bic razor, and I'm like, "What are you gonna do with that?" And they get down there. There's no water, shaving cream. There's not like a hot towel they put on you. They just go straight to work, just dry shaving your sack.
How did my surgery go to your dick all of a sudden?
I don't know. We were talking about the drugs. The drugs they give you. The drugs that they give you beforehand. They're good. But, I mean, if you can get some.
So, anyways. So, I had the biopsy, but while listening to it, or while live in the biopsy, I was listening to Tom Segura. And it was the part where he talks about his wife falling down the stairs.
Yeah.
And then I went through that, and she clearly didn't get what she needed from the first spot, so she had to go in from another one. So I quickly fast forward to the other one about his sons.
Yeah. When
his nieces come over, and he goes, where did I go wrong? And I had boys. They are hims, if you get what I'm saying.
So Sam's basically laughing on the table as this lady's jabbing a needle into her tits.
I'm high on the drug at this point. I'm laughing. She's like,
I've never had anybody laugh.
I've never had anyone laugh while getting a breast biopsy.
You're like, well, you gave me some drugs and I got some Tom Segura rolling through the headphones, so I'm in a good place. Can I get a margarita, or you guys got any hard liquor here? I can knock back a couple shots before at 10 a.m.
I'm just, yep, go ahead. But because of my implants that I had a few years ago, I have no feeling in parts of my boob because, I guess in a sense, I went to Dr. Kevorkian for my boob job, and he chopped me all up and I looked like Frankenstein's wife. So there's a lot of spots where I have no feeling whatsoever. So I'm just like, yep, go ahead. Do what you need to do.
On a positive note, though, it was a very stressful week few weeks.
Because I had to do the biopsy and they put a tag in.
It was just
the marker.
Multiple procedures. Like you had the biopsy, then you had to go get that put in, then you had
the tag, the radio frequency. So I think if you put a metal detector over my boob, it goes beep 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 beep.
Well, I would like to give a huge shout out to just insurance companies, and thank you so much for barely paying anything. That's really helpful. Because I was just like, so. But the funny thing was when the first biopsy came back, they said it's negative, but we don't like the way it looks.
The scan didn't match what the biopsy said.
So they're like, we want to go in and rack up a bill, and I was like, great, let's do that. Because they basically scare you to death. Because if they're like, well, if you leave it for a year, then
they said I could do
mammogram. Is it going to be full blown like in something crazy? Because it was like tiny.
They said I could do a mammogram every 3 months, which would rack up quite a bit of cost, or just do the surgery and know that it is what it is. And I'm happy I did the surgery because now I know.
Yeah,
but
it's a relief.
And anyone can come at me. I don't care. My biggest fear during all of this, it really wasn't that it was going to come back positive with cancer, because to be honest, I'm too fucking mean for cancer. I was more worried about having surgery and not waking up.
Yeah, but you've had surgery before.
I've had surgery before. I've had my implants done. I had a sinus surgery in 2012. But, like, I was more worried because I'm older. I'm 40. I was more worried about having the anesthesia and something going wrong where either I didn't wake up.
Keisha said that's normal to lose feeling. So she's...
Oh, it is. Yeah. And they told me that when I had it.
They cut the nerves.
But you know what? Since I've had this done, all of a sudden I have feeling in certain parts that I didn't have.
Well, Sam had, to be fair, Sam had rather large...
boobs?
Tits, we're calling them tits today?
Tits, yeah.
So she,
I didn't go bigger. When I had my implants, I didn't go bigger.
But you had a reduction plus the implants. So they cut and like remove some of, because from children, you know.
Well, their first.
Like the Chris in the Tom Segura thing, like Tom calls them. He was joking, but he said the doc called them ape tits, like how the apes at the zoo look, like because they just hang. Yours weren't bad, but they, you know, move them up and everything. So I like them. I'm on board with them.
But I do think with all of the mammograms I've had in the past, literally month and a half, I think they have messed up something, because my left one is a little wonky. And it could be swollen, so I'm going to give it some time because of the surgery.
There's a lot of boob talk. We're like 10 minutes deep on boob talk.
Sorry.
It's okay.
But I'm happy that it is negative. I don't have to worry about it.
No tit cancer.
No tit cancer. And I'm happy I woke up from surgery.
That's good.
But I can tell you this.
Like we talked about that. You know?
It's bullshit, though, because they told me I couldn't go back to work for 2 weeks. And they wrote my doctor's note that I couldn't go back to work. I couldn't push, pull, or lift anything for 2 weeks.
I know, like, okay. And I'm like, well, who's gonna cut the fucking grass? I mean, I'm out here like, Jesus. So I got to do everything around here, like. So I've been having to do laundry and.
So here's my thing: they built this up that this was going to be such a extensive surgery, that this was going to hurt me, and this was going to keep me out of doing household chores. And I came home Tuesday at 10. We were home by 10.
Yeah, because it was...
My surgery was at 7:30.
We had to be there at 1:30 in the morning.
No, we had to be there at 5:30 in the morning.
It's dark outside. We were up for multiple hours, and it was still dark. I'm like, what planet are we on where it's...
He got me home, put me into bed. I literally took one nap when we got home. He thought I was going to sleep all afternoon. I was awake by 12.
It was kind of a bummer because I was really hoping to log some more college football.
You logged plenty of college football.
I got a lot, you know, but I mean, I was hoping it was going to be like an uninterrupted, like 6 hours of just.
It was uninterrupted. I watched Housewives for 6 hours.
Yeah, that's true. It was not. Well, I mean,
and then
of course, you had to eat lunch, so I had to bring that back there. Like, God.
Anyways, so then the next morning, I still couldn't work. Like, they wrote it that I couldn't return to remote work until Thursday.
Yeah, you can't.
So I had an entire Wednesday off, and I was just like,
there's no way you could be on a computer typing with this kind of injury.
like, I'm an HR person. I don't lift, push, or pull anything unless I'm having to push someone out the door because I fired them, which I don't do this at my new company. It's not like all the other companies I work for.
Oh my God.
So now I'm stuck working remote all of next week.
When you said, and I said when you're stuck, I'm like, I would throw a party if I was.
I mean, it's
remote.
great. I do miss working remote because I used to be 100% remote with a couple of my positions, and now I'm only remote on Fridays with my new. But I actually love my job, so I don't mind going in 4 days a week. It's phenomenal. So I kind of miss going into my office next week, but.
Well, let me dive into our next topic.
Mulch. No, go ahead.
You've been talking for like 20 minutes about your boobs, but like
any other time you like it when I talk about my boobs.
Why don't you? Can you grab me another beer?
You just prefer it when.
Grab me a beer.
You want me to make sure the camera's still.
Well, make sure it's recording still. We haven't shut off yet. After last week's debacle, so I bumped up like the recording quality on it, and it just ate like 30 gigs of space. It just killed so we redid it, and I've ordered a camera, and we're going to try to actually get a decent setup with like the laptop where we're recording straight to that and stuff so that it's not as, spotty where we're losing stuff. But I wanted to talk about this. I saw this week, and it was a video. It's going in on the flat earthers a little bit. So I'm going to say this before I go into this. If anyone has any concrete evidence or what you think is evidence to prove me wrong on the flat earth thing, I would send it to me, comment it, DM it to us on Instagram. I think our email is cepodcast@yahoo.
Have you ever checked it?
I check it occasionally.
Oh, I've never checked it.
I haven't ever seen anything from anybody, but
I need to sign up for my Nike coupons with that one because now it's a third email. I can get more coupons and stack them.
Great.
It's a good thing.
But the flat Earth thing, I saw a post this week. It was a guy. He launched some kind of weather balloon or just a giant balloon. It went up into space, had like a GoPro on it. And the thing the flat earthers always claim is that there's water above like the dome, I think is what they're saying. So in this video, you could hear like water bubbling. And I was like reading through the comments and stuff, and it's like,
I hear water bubbling right here.
Well, yeah, it's in your beer glass. But the comments, like, it was like, well, you can alter videos. Like, it's not like you can alter a video and lay in a bubbling track over it.
And there's like so much you can do with that AI crap and all the video stuff.
So I mean, but like the whole thing, I was arguing. I was like, well, it looks round in the video, but they were arguing about the water sound, and I said, yeah, I mean, it could be altered. And some guy's like, yeah, so you instantly discredit it. And I was commenting on like my personal account because I'm like, I'm not going to argue on the podcast thing. But he said, he said that. He's like, so you just instantly just say, oh, it's not real. I'm like, that's literally what every flat earther has ever done about every picture taken from space. I'm like, every photo, like if you find a flat earth post on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, they're like, that's Photoshop. I'm like, well, it's the moon or it's Earth from space. It's Photoshop. That's AI. I'm like, well, they didn't have AI in the 60s. Like, I mean, they took pictures, from the 70s
but that
and stuff.
movie, we need to go
watch. But like, I'm just saying, like, pick like everything can't. So I'm like, every photo from space is fake. Then, like, yeah, it's all fake. You got it.
Oh, it tastes like hamburger.
Live on TikTok, just burping it up good. So yeah, I just I don't know. I've looked into the flat Earth thing. Like they always show like the videos of, like the boat where it's supposed to disappear over the horizon. Like if you're standing on the beach and you're filming, and
boats do disappear over the horizon when you're standing on the beach.
What they say is that you lose sight of the boat it didn't disappear. So they'll take a camera that has a super zoom lens and they'll zoom in and you can still see the boat. But a lot of times, like I've seen a lot of them where they're up in a hotel balcony or something. I'm like, well, you're 100 feet up, so that's a different story.
When you're out on a boat, like we've gone deep sea fishing. We've been how many miles out?
80, 90?
Yeah.
I mean,
like we're mahi fishing and sword fishing or sail fishing or whatever it is. You can't see the shore.
But they say that it's just because you can't see that far.
No, I don't think that. No, absolutely not. I'm sorry, that's not.
But
true.
it's supposed to be because the Earth that far, 90 miles away, it's supposed to.
It starts curving,
and it's such a slight curve. The Earth is so massive that 90 miles.
But it's really not.
Isn't a 90 miles isn't a huge curve. You're not going to see. So even the boat argument, if you're standing on a beach, the thing that they pointed out is that you can see the bottom of the boat, which I guess makes sense because there should be some slight drop, but you'd have to see how far out is it? What is the calculation of how many? And they'll say that should be 268 feet lower. So, and I'm just I would like to see somebody that's actually done the math other than a flat earther just claiming that it drops 3 feet a mile. I'm like, does it though? I don't think that the math doesn't work out.
The math is math.
The math does not math.
So I think I'll have to do some notes this week.
Okay.
But Interstellar.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing at the end where he's the one pushing the books off.
Yeah. And
trying to communicate. And it's the different
dimensions
that are. I'm going to talk about that next week. I just thought of it because we're talking about the Earth. Because I'm 100% believe the Earth is round. I don't believe that it's flat whatsoever.
And if you got, I would love to see. I'm open because this is somewhat a conspiracy podcast, so I'm open to conspiracies.
I feel like the whole different dimension thing, and then seeing Interstellar, which by the way, it's kind of where we got our youngest's middle name from, Murph. We called him Murph for the longest time when I was pregnant. I do think that that's actually a thing, and it doesn't scare me, but it intrigues me a little bit.
We'll talk about it next week,
because I feel like sometimes, we were talking about how our oldest has had deja vu a lot lately.
Yeah,
and I think that's just normal because I remember when I was a teenager, I feel like I had deja vu a lot, and I would have dreams that felt so real.
Yeah,
when I woke up and I was like, did I really I had dreams skydiving.
Huh.
And I woke up and felt like I just went skydiving.
I've never really had super vivid dreams.
I've always had.
I've had some where but not on a regular basis where you wake up. Some people they call it lucid dreaming.
I do.
And they say they wake up every single night and they're just like, did that happen? I have one every 4 or 5 months. You'll have one of those dreams where it just keeps going, and it just seems like you wake up and then you fall back asleep, and it just jumps you right back.
How many times have you caught me jumping off the bed?
Countless. You're fighting somebody. You're diving off the bed. I'm like,
I was standing at the foot of our bed one night, and he pulled me back into the bed. I was about to jump off.
Highly creepy. I'm like, what in the world are you doing? The blankets have been pulled off of me. Lay down.
When I was pregnant with the youngest, I woke myself up in the pantry eating Oreos and peanut butter.
Ridiculous.
What are our people saying?
I don't know. I don't think anybody's saying anything. We're on for the people on YouTube.
We're on live.
So I've been trying to do this a little bit, but this will be on, the full episode will be on YouTube, but I'm going to switch over because I got a video I got to show Sam here, so.
Oh. Are we ready to talk about my mulch orders?
If you want to talk about your mulch, let me go back on TikTok here because God knows we can't miss the mulch story. Go ahead. Proceed. It'll just resume it. There you go.
Make sure we're recording.
I'll go check it. Oh, my God. I'll check. I'm going to shotgun a beer while you're talking about mulch. We're still rolling.
Check.
Talk about your stupid mulch.
Sam's
got an anger thing with all these mulch people. She's turned into an old lady.
All right. Listen.
You're here.
Okay.
TikTok is an observer.
Sorry. They're observing.
Audience.
Okay. Anyways, we have a rather large flower bed, and it's not like one that we made ourselves. It's not one we made ourselves. It's how the walk up from like the driveway to our front door is shaped and done. Okay. So I can't do anything about it. 25 bags of mulch. And I'm still not done. I still need probably a couple more to really thicken it up. Here's my problem. At Lowe's.
So angry about this. It's such a...
They have, and I'm perfectly okay with the cheap red mulch. Totally fine with it. I don't give two shits about it. Some people are like, oh, we need brown. Oh, we need black. Oh, we need bark.
Sweetie,
anyways,
don't get too worked up about the mulch.
The cheap red one that I want so bad because I need more than 25 bags. I need 35 bags. Is $2.18.
You sound like such a crazy person.
You're crazy.
This is supposed to talk about aliens and conspiracy stuff.
This is conspiracy. This is a conspiracy. Why is it every Friday morning the $2.18 mulch is sold out?
It's because people that own construction companies go buy it.
Why is it every Saturday morning it's sold out? Why is it every time I check the website it's sold out? When all of you fuckers have it sitting in your driveways.
Riveting.
And I showed you how many houses tonight. How many houses on our way home from Lowe's? We had to go to Lowe's because we're night swimming tonight. So we needed lighter fluid and we needed tiki torch fluid for the mosquitoes. So we live in Florida. We live in the swamp. So we had to go get stuff to like light up the whole house. Hopefully the backyard's not on fire. No one's checked it. So on the way home, I said, I'm going to show you. 2 houses we drove by had fucking weeds. Grown over their mulch.
All right, let me take this back. Let me get us back on track here. Sam's complaint is that people will go buy these bags of mulch, lay it where they're going to put it down,
and then never open it.
And then they just leave it for 6 months. And she's like, you just got to cut the bag.
Just cut the bag.
Just cut it and lay it down. Like you did all the hard. You loaded it at Lowe's. You
took it out of your car and put it where it's going to go. And it's still in the bag.
Anytime settle down, okay? Settle down. I
need to punch somebody.
Anytime we drive around now, Sam points out bags of mulch in people's yards, and I'm like, I don't care. Please stop pointing out. She made me not turn down our street and go down a different street so she could show me a house that had 5 bags of mulch.
And our neighbors, if you're watching, you know what house I'm talking about. It's on the cul-de-sac around the corner. They have the crappiest yard. It's overgrown. They have 4 bags by the street. And then they have like 8 bags up by their house. Their flower bed is a jungle.
You're a jungle.
I don't know what they plan on doing with this mulch. I'm going to go steal it. I'm stealing it tomorrow morning. When I go running, I'm going to start stealing bags of it and just bring it home. I'm so fed up with it. Stop hoarding the mulch. The cheap mulch. All right. Some of us need it.
Well, I'm going to get off here so I can show you my video.
I think that's
Crazy
part of
mulch
it. It's my OCD, ADD. I call it what you want to, but man.
All right, TikTok. We'll see you later.
Bye.
All right. So this is the video.
Are we sure the back of the house isn't on fire right now? Jackson!
No, don't call him.
Oh.
It's not on fire.
Okay.
It's fine.
We have the fire pit going.
I was going to say, you just called. They're both going to come out here now.
We have the fire pit going and eight tiki torches going.
Right, we got to talk about this. We got to wrap this thing up here. All right, so I wanted to bring this up. I took this screenshot and I was going to show you we talked about Genghis Khan the other day kind of briefly.
So weird.
So I found this online because I Googled it. So this says that 0.5% of the world population can trace its genetics back. Sound like a zombie.
Oh, we needed the Sprite thing I showed you.
Let me stay on topic here. 0.5% of the world population can trace their genetics back to Genghis Khan. It's 8% of Asian men, which is weird because I don't know. You would think there would be a large percentage of Asian women also.
They're not allowed.
But he had,
girls, right?
huh?
I thought they weren't.
Back then it didn't matter, but so like it should have spread even. Jesus, just settle down. Like there's so many, but the stuff I was reading online. It said that they believe he fathered hundreds of children, hundreds. So when you multiply that over,
I guess he did
hundreds of years.
I guess he didn't have a vasectomy.
He did not. If he did, it didn't work like mine. But so it's just wild that he. And the other thing I read was that he was in a lot of the people he was like conquering. He was sleeping with the queen or ruler or whatever. So the people that he was having kids with were in power. So those kids were in power, and they were having like when you're in power, you try to have as many kids as possible.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different when you're a farmer and you're broke and you're barely feeding. Like you're not like,
no, those guys spit out kids.
Let's have 12 kids.
Both
like these people, like they were trying to produce offspring and stuff. So it was just something I looked up because we kind of touched on it briefly. Me and Sam were talking about it the other day, and I was like, let me look this up because Rogan's talked about it a bunch.
Oh, Rogan's got his thing tonight.
Yeah, he's got something like live
Netflix
stand-up thing at like 10 tonight.
Oh, maybe.
We'll give it a shout.
Let's see what time it is.
We'll look it up and
watch
see.
right here. It's 8:24.
We'll look it up and see. But that, and they said that he killed, which Rogan talks about this constantly, but he killed so many people during his reign that it changed the carbon footprint of the planet. Like they can actually trace it through like the soil. There was less carbon output when because he killed like an insane amount of people. I'll Google it.
That's disgusting.
Because like just the amount of like carbon dioxide that people were breathing out drastically changed. I'm gonna look it up because now it's gonna bug me.
While he's looking it up, I have the sticker here. I got to figure out where I'm going to put it, but it says Florida Hurricane Party Plan, ice beer, board windows, party like hell. Because we have an impending tropical storm.
Are you ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
He estimated to kill roughly 40 million people.
Why? Why was he so angry?
He just conquering lands like, well, we got to kill them all. I'm sorry. You're bordering on getting a compilation video again.
How many more burps do I have to do to get that?
I don't know. I think you're already there. All right, let me show you this. We'll put it in the video. So this is about Bobby Kennedy, his son, who's running for president, talking about his assassination. So there was.
Oh yeah.
There was, and I cut this video down because he talks about it for a while.
What's his name?
It's Robert Kennedy Jr.
Yeah.
So he said the revolver that the guy used was an 8-shot revolver. He said the first 2 shots missed. So, because one hit a guy, it was like a 22. So the one hit a guy in the head and he lived. They extracted it. And another one, I think he said went through like his suit jacket, like went through and hit somebody behind him. So this is talking about the remaining shot. So the first 2 shots missed. And I'll put the video in there.
You can put the speaker.
Well, I'm going to put the video in. So.
Brother, my father, by the way. My father, he's sitting with his back to his steam table, and they bent him over the steam table. And he fired the bullets this way. As you pointed out, those bullets each hit people. So 5 people, one of them got hit twice. So if you just do the math, my father got shot 4 times from behind. And he only hit 8 bullets in his gun. He didn't reload. We know what happened the first 2, and we know what happened to the second 6. We know what happened to every one of those bullets. My father was killed from behind. He was shot 4 times. One of the shots went harmlessly through the shoulder pad of his suit. The other 3 were fatal or potentially fatal. And one of them was right behind his ear. All of them were contact shots. That's what Thomas Noguchi found, meaning the barrel of the gun was either touching his skin or his clothing and was and left a carbon tattoo, or was close enough, within an inch, close enough to leave a carbon tattoo. And the gun was being held at an upward angle. So he was shot from behind by somebody who was standing behind him with the gun pressed between the 2 of them and firing. And that man was almost certainly Eugene Thane Cesar, who was a security guard who had been hired the day before. So they already knew when he got the job, he already knew my father was going to be at that hotel. His full-time job, I ended up not going. I can't prove that my father was killed by the CIA, but there's a lot of circumstantial evidence, and then,
so
there's a lot of other circumstantial evidence, and particularly with Sirhan's background.
Is a big-time believer that the CIA killed his father
family.
Also, and his uncle JFK. So
I've
never heard any conspiracy stuff around Bobby Kennedy's death, but I was like, I'm gonna dive down the rabbit hole. I might have to do some research, do a few episodes, and look.
I like him. He's against some of the vaccinations because that's how he's messed up his voice.
That's what they said.
They said one of the vaccinations he got as a kid is what has made his voice how it is.
I don't know when he got it, but I want to talk about this for a second. So, like, what he's saying is somebody shot him in the back. But, like, I don't understand. How is this not known? Because, I mean, I heard something, too, where they were talking about the autopsy that was done on him was way in depth compared to what was done on Kennedy, because so many people gave the government and everything a hard time about JFK's autopsy because they missed so much stuff. So I just saw that this week. Like, I can't remember if that popped up on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, because I'm always watching stuff. And of course, like, my algorithm, like, you do a JFK episode, then it's like, hey, you're going to want to see this. So I'm going to look into that a little bit more and do some research, and maybe we'll do an episode down the road a little bit about Bobby. But I've never really heard much conspiracy stuff about Bobby. I just thought the guy walked up and shot him in the kitchen and it was done.
You remember the movie?
Yeah.
We watched. It's got Lindsay Lohan in it, and I can't think of anyone.
The old Anthony Hopkins is the old. It's called Bobby.
It's called
Bobby. It's a good movie.
It's a really good movie.
It's about the night of the hotel, and it covers, like, Anthony Hopkins plays like the
butler,
general manager or something like that, and Lindsay Lohan's like I don't know if she's
I think a star, like an actress that's staying at the hotel.
Yeah, or something. But it jumps. It's a good movie. It doesn't show a lot of Kennedy.
No.
But it shows all the people around him. So.
Yeah. I just want to bring up, like, 2 things real quick. First off, does anyone know the proper use of your tab?
You've already talked about this.
Did we?
Yeah, we talked about this.
Did I? Oh, okay. Anyways, so we're in Florida. Hi. So we're in Florida, and we have an impending tropical storm a week before school goes back.
Yeah.
So we either will have school, or we may delay it.
I don't think it's not supposed to be a hurricane.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be a hurricane. It's a tropical storm.
It won't be.
But this comes into play because we're in Florida and we lose power
pretty easily. We lose it during thunderstorms.
We lose power like 5-year-olds lose teeth.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to happen. And we just had our AC done.
Yeah.
So
We talked about that on that episode.
I know.
but-
So the second it starts getting nuts and we have lightning, everything's being turned. I'm turning everything off. I'm not gonna allow it to get hit.
Yeah, we're not gonna blow anything else out. But
All right, so it's 8:33 on the Saturday night, and next week is actually the boys' last weekend before school starts, but we're doing it tonight. We always do a back-to-school night swim. We don't do it much during the summer because it takes really long time, late, before it gets dark, and it's just now dark enough. So we're going to go night swim with the boys. We have tiki torches and a fire going, and we have glow sticks ready to go. And I have a five-year-old sitting right there, ready to go swimming in the dark. Yeah.
all right, well, we'll see you guys next week. Keep watching, share it, tell your friends, so we
Tell
can
everybody.
keep growing.
Come
Hey,
on.
and remember, 500 subs on YouTube.
Wait,
Sam's gonna eat that chip.
I'll give you this. Give me 250. I'll do the chip. I'll do the chip for 250.
Wow! All
So
right.
cut it in half. Give me 250.
We're at like
and I'll do the chip.
80, so
Alright.
you guys got to send this to some of your friends and stuff. Tell
Biscuits.
them to log in and subscribe. All right, later, guys. See you next week.